as I said, it's been an interesting day in the UK. First of all, Rishi Sunak, our Chancellor of the Exchequer, appeared with Boris Johnson today and spoke about some of the measures they're putting in place to help people through this situation. Now, I've been a stern critic of the Tories and a stern critic of Boris Johnson, but you know what? I think they're doing remarkably well. Now, today they've said that they'll provide an 80% grant to cover wages. That means they'll pay 80% of someone's wage up to £2,500. That doesn't prevent your employer topping that up and even putting more on there if they're still functioning. That's a pretty special thing. Self-employed people have got some support up to a level of about £94 a week. They've also said that all pubs, restaurants, gyms, cinemas, theatres, non-essential shops will be closed from tonight. So closed. Now, before I get into that side of it, of course, what they've done is still not enough or too much, apparently, to the outraged people of Twitter. Those on the left are saying it's not enough. What about this one thing that I care about? You know, they're not caring for everybody. I can't live on £94 a week as a self-employed person. And I have to point out that, you know, a day or so ago you were saying they were doing nothing for anybody. This stuff is incredibly complex to sort out. It's not like they just decide and it is done. There's so much work for them to do in the government to make these things happen. So it could be that it'll be next week before you hear your future. But if things are really desperate, you know, the supermarkets are hiring thousands of people for the next 4 to 6 weeks, perhaps longer. Thousands of delivery jobs. If you've got to make ends meet, they're all out there. They're doing interviews online for people. So, you know, if needs must, it's a fucking pandemic, you know. You have no right to comfort. They'll help you, but they can only help you so much. And, you know, you can just go get a fucking job. Just go get a job. If things are that bad and you need the money, I mean, I would. I probably might have to. But why not? There's no fucking shame in it. Is it beneath you to take a temporary job to tide yourself over and pay for your family and shit? Is it really too much for you? Less moaning. Fucking get on with things. You know, the government have basically said you can't be evicted. We'll give you something. You know, to £100 buy some shopping. You know, they're doing something for you. If you just can't cope with your self-employment status, job. Like I say, there are thousands of jobs available right now if you're willing to, you know, put your pride away and be a delivery driver or work in a supermarket. Just crack the fuck on. Crack the fuck on. Now, some people from the more conservative side of things are disgusted that we're giving things away. How dare the government, you know, support people in this way and feed them and clothe them and things like that. It's disgraceful. One guy even said the libertarian in me is screaming. If it bothers you, think of it as an investment that has to be made because, you know, you've made your money somehow. That's cool. Because there's very few people on the breadline complaining. If we don't support people, there will be no one around to help keep you wealthy. They'll be broke. They'll be too skint. Now, it's not perfect, to be fair. You know, some things for self-employed people like deferred taxes. Well, that means that's great, but come January, you've got to find all the tax you have to find anyway, and then pay back extra. It's not perfect yet, but I don't think they've finished. I think they're trying to sort shit out as they go, and yeah, I genuinely believe the British government is doing an outstanding job so far. You know, I can't fault them. You know, you can't be angry because they're not doing it as quick as you'd like. Who the fuck are you? Everyone's an expert. They're going to keep the wheels turning, minimise the deaths, and this will be the one job that does age Boris Johnson. You know, even on the Brexit thing, he was thriving on it. You don't thrive on something like this. This has got to be just monumental pressure, because you know that for every announcement they make where they've made a provision, that a huge team of people have worked right around the fucking clock to make that happen by 5 o'clock each day. So they got some news to tell you, something to make you look up and focus on the better things. You've got to keep the wheels turning. Got to keep the wheels turning. And too many people are bitching and moaning. And as I said on the show yesterday, the media have been disgusting. They've been fucking shameful. But what can you do? What can you do? The interesting thing is we have found out who the key workers actually really are in society, the people that society cannot function without, and they're the people most people refer to, apart from the NHS staff, as unskilled labour. You know, but turns out that the bankers and the stock market guys and senior management guys aren't that important. The really important people are, along with the NHS workers, frontline staff, people that work in daycare, you know, people that work in transport. And I think it'd be really nice if we referred to them as something other than unskilled. Maybe we'll appreciate them a bit more after this. I'm not holding out much hope, because we've seen the worst of human nature during this debacle, this pandemic. But perhaps we'll think better of those people in the future. It would be nice, but I don't hold out a huge amount of hope that society will be too much better, because tonight is the night that the pubs close in Britain. So everyone's gone to the pub. They've all piled into the pub to stand shoulder to shoulder so they can have a nice, shiny new virus to take home to their mothers and fathers and loved ones and vulnerable people. And so they can get pissed one last time, even though there will still be beer and booze deliveries and off licenses, you know, shops selling alcohol. Everyone's gone to the pub to get fucking drunk. The one... no, Graham's not gone to the pub. No, he hasn't, no. There's one near me that are running promotions on Facebook tonight. Drinks promotions, and they've... excuse me, and they've got a DJ on. And everyone's going to be there enjoying themselves till midnight, despite a licensing lawyer, a renowned licensing lawyer, advising people to just close. Just close. Don't do this. Don't do this. The police have begged people, like, don't treat this as a party your last night. But that's exactly what what people are doing. And that's what I'm doing. Graham, by the way, he's had a stressy day. He just needs a bit of a rest. It's good for him, and he can take one of the weekend nights. Because I'm probably going to need a rest pretty soon. COVID and all, something's fucking wrong. So I'll need a break at some point. But, you know, the thing is, I just wanted to keep this going. You know, I wanted to give us all somewhere to hang out and be sane. Or as sane as possible.